Welcome to The Explainer. Today, we are digging into brain rot. You know that feeling, right? That fuzzy, kind of distracted haze you get after an hour just scrolling? We've all been there. But what if that feeling isn't just some random side effect? What if it's the whole point? The intended outcome of a technology that was literally designed to hack your brain? Now, that is a huge, almost unbelievable claim from social psychologist Jonathan Haidt, who's a key voice in all the research we're looking at today. He's arguing that the destruction of our ability to focus, it isn't just about being distracted. He says it's about us losing our potential, our relationships, and even our ability to solve the world's biggest problems. So let's break down exactly what's going on here. You see, this whole thing isn't just a vibe or a feeling. It's a documented biological rewiring of our brains. And the scale of the problem, it's just staggering. This isn't just a few people struggling to pay attention. We're talking about a massive society-wide shift in the very way we think. And here's what that scale looks like. A massive 85% of people openly admit they feel addicted to their phones. Think about that. That self-awareness is maybe the biggest clue that something is deeply, deeply wrong. We know we're hooked, but we feel totally powerless to stop. Does this sound familiar to you? That late-night scroll that's supposed to be your me time? Yeah, that has a name. It's called revenge bedtime procrastination. You feel like you didn't get any time for yourself all day, so you try to steal some back by scrolling. But instead of actually relaxing, you're just delaying sleep and guaranteeing you'll start the next day even more drained. It's a perfect symptom of this whole problem. So how in the world did we get here? How did scrolling become the default activity for literally billions of people? Well, and this is really important. It's not because you have a lack of willpower. It's because of a deliberate biological hack that targets the most ancient, primitive parts of your brain. The key idea here is something called neuroplasticity. Your brain isn't fixed. It actually changes based on what you do with it. So think of it this way. Every single short video you watch, every swipe up, it's like a rep at the gym. And what muscle are you training? You're training your brain to crave constant, rapid-fire, low-quality stimulation. And that actively weakens your ability to do deep, focused work, to solve complex problems, or, to even just sit alone with your own thoughts. Now, I know what you might be thinking. Hey, they said the same thing about TV. But the research shows a really crucial difference. Watching TV creates what they call transportation. You kind of get lost in a story, but it's passive. Your phone, on the other hand, is a Skinner box. Every single swipe is like pulling a lever, and you never know what the reward will be on the other side. It's exactly like a slot machine. This isn't entertainment, it's active behavioral conditioning. So, what is actually happening inside your skull while you're scrolling? Well, it's basically a battle between two parts of your brain. The scroll lets up your amygdala, that's your ancient survival center, always scanning for threats and rewards. When it gets overstimulated like this, it basically shuts down your prefrontal cortex, which you can think of as your brain's CEO. It's responsible for logic, impulse control, long-term planning. So this is why you know you should stop scrolling, but you just can't. The CEO has literally left the building. Okay, but how quickly does this damage actually happen? Researchers in Munich set up a really clever experiment to find out. They gave people a memory test, then had them take a 10-minute break where they either rested, browsed Twitter, watched YouTube, or scrolled TikTok. Then they tested their memory again. And the results are, honestly, they're shocking. Just look at the TikTok group. Their memory accuracy plummeted from 80% down to just 49%. That is a nearly 40% drop in cognitive function after only 10 minutes of scrolling. The other groups, no significant change. This isn't some slow burn, this is an immediate, measurable hit to your brain. I mean, you have to stop and ask yourself, how is it possible for a consumer technology product to do that to the human brain and do it so quickly? The answer is it was designed to. The infinite scroll, the autoplay, the hyper-personalized algorithm, every single feature is engineered to hijack these core brain functions and keep you completely hooked. Okay, so we've laid out the problem, we've looked at the science, and yeah, it is a pretty grim picture. But understanding the mechanism of the hack is the first step to fighting back. So let's talk about what we can actually do to reclaim our minds. When you look at the experts, they're pretty divided on the best way forward. On one side, you've got the harm reduction camp, people who say we should make small, manageable tweaks to our habits. And on the other side, you've got those who argue that the only real solution is to just quit completely. So the small tweaks approach includes practical steps, like turning your phone's screen to grayscale to make it less exciting, or creating phone-free zones like the bedroom. And these are all good strategies. But as one expert memorably put it, all you're really doing is making the heroin a little bit less addictive. So the real question is that enough? Jonathan Haidt argues, no, it's not enough. He says that while those little tweaks might help a bit, the only way to get a real, true transformation, to actually get your life back, is to quit, to just remove the slot machine from your pocket entirely. He basically believes that moderation is a losing battle against a system that was specifically designed to defeat it. And here's the crucial point. This is not just some personal failing on your part. The companies know exactly what they're doing. Leaked internal documents from Meta, that's Facebook and Instagram, revealed their own researchers said, and I'm quoting here, Instagram is a drug. We're basically pushers. They know their products are designed to be addictive, and they know the harm they're causing. So just as we're starting to finally grapple with the damage from social media, a new and honestly an even more powerful technology is emerging. And if you think the battle for our attention was intense, well, the next fight is for something much, much deeper. This slide just lays it out perfectly. Social media was built to hack our attention using dopamine. That's the reward chemical in your brain. The next wave of AI is being designed to hack our attachment system using oxytocin. That's the bonding hormone. We are moving from an attention economy to an attachment economy, targeting our most fundamental human need for connection. I mean, just think about that for a second. It's one thing to hijack your focus. It is another thing entirely to hijack your ability to love. But why should we assume these AI companions will inevitably become harmful? Well, there's a great word for it. In-shitification. It describes the predictable life cycle of pretty much every online platform. First, they are amazing for users, so they can attract a massive audience. But once they have you locked in, they start to exploit both you and the advertisers to satisfy their investors. It's just the business model. It ensures these platforms will eventually turn predatory. And the irony here is just unbelievable. These tech companies are now pitching AI chatbots as the solution to the modern loneliness crisis, a crisis that their own social media platforms played a huge role in creating in the first place. There's actually a perfect Yiddish word for this, chutzpah. It's like a boy who murders his parents and then throws himself on the mercy of the court because he's an orphan. So the end game here, as painted by her source, is a world where our kids' primary attachments aren't to their parents or their friends, but to AI teddy bears and holographic companions. A world where our most intimate relationships are with corporate-owned algorithms that aren't designed for our well-being, but are designed to monetize us. The fight for our attention has already rewired an entire generation. This coming fight for our attachment threatens the very core of what human connection is. Understanding this battle isn't optional anymore, it's absolutely essential for navigating the future, and for figuring out what it even means to be human.